Hey, we're back again. So, as you saw in the last recording, episode 19, we have gotten really romantic really quick with Huntress, which included asking her about her love life, which really held her up for some reason. Anyways, after all that, we found a hair clip, which the narrator was kind enough to remind us that whoever owned it is totally not dead. So let's continue. Huntress closes the bag of jerky with the hair clip. Seems like she's a little mixed up on how exactly this particular item works. Should you go with the flow, or show off some of your knowledge of advanced humaning? Okay, I'm gonna save real quick, because this is definitely a choice, which I feel could lead to a bad ending if I get it wrong. But I'm hoping picking the answer that's a tiny bit comedic will help. Let's go with show her a thing or two. You silly geese. You chuckle before reaching for the bag of jerky. You take the barrette off and collect a lock of Huntress's hair, clipping it back into an attractive swoop. Much better. Huntress is so happy that you taught her something new about human trinkets. She touches the clip in her hair with a shy smile. I kind of wish they had put in a new character image with the hair clip, but I guess that would mean deciding what sort of a design they want for the hair clip, which makes it a tiny bit more difficult unless you describe it in the game. Just as things are really heating up, you hear a flurry of footsteps behind you, and you quickly spin around, ready to fend off whatever new danger has popped up on the strange island. You immediately hear, "Police! Open up!" Only to find it's Dwight and Claudette sprinting across the beach, clipboards in hand, which they're waving in the air above their heads. It's very important we stick to the itinerary and attend every event as scheduled. Playing sick for cute flirt points is not part of this evening's activities. And that's strictly slotted in for after campfire story time. At this rate, we'll be late. Playing sick? No, I was. No time for excuses. Well, there is, but that's scheduled for after what comes after the flirting. Go, go, go! I swear. Like, with the freaking trapper, it didn't really start getting romantic until, like, the second date event. Or actually, like, the third date event, really. But this one, on, like, the second mini event, it got romantic. Let's see, Dwight and Claudia make an announcement. Not gonna blame anyone in particular. So again, they remind everyone that my character's at fault for interrupting the activity. Yeah. Let's see. I swear, just don't. Or just Trevor always getting the names wrong. Donald and Cynthia. We all know you love to kill. It's almost all you talk about. Nobody named any names. Who even knows any names? Not us. No one knows my name. Who's Donald? Who's Dwight? Who even knows anymore? Call me nobody. We still gotta get started on story time, so. Player, who do you think should go? Ah, dang it, that's a name. So, this time I want to see what Huntress tells us as a story. I choose you, Huntress. Whoa, whoa. This entire experience is being carefully crafted to avoid an IP infringement lawsuit. Let's be careful with the catchphrases, will you? I swear. Had to be the Pokemon reference. So, Huntress steps up to tell her story. The campfire flickers in her faraway eyes. There's a village outside the deep and ominous redwood. No child dared step foot past the threshold of the trees and brush that separated safety from the unknown. Grown men that ventured in often would never return, and the sounds that echoed out into the village were something inhuman. The woman of the town told the story to the young children, hoping that it would be enough to dissuade them from curious exploration beyond the boundaries of the village. They told of a creature that lurks in the woods, half human or half woman, half beast, singing like a siren, haunting, beautiful, her voice the last relic of her humanity. It lulls all who hear it into her domain, and not a precocious child nor fierce soldier can escape once you are in her clutches. Those who have seen her say she wears a mask of hair stained with the blood of so many poor souls. The hatchet she wields has been brought down brutally on the skull of many an unsuspecting hunter. The nightmare doesn't end there. For what's a hungry beast to do in the frigid winters with nothing but hunter meat to live off of? It is said that the huntress, as the villagers called her, couldn't bring herself to kill the young girls she came across in the forest. Instead, they'd suffer an even worse fate. Longing for a child of her own, she'd bring them back to her secluded cabin. To keep them safe, she'd wrap a tight cord of rope around their necks and affix them to the wall. That way they'd be warm. That way they'd be out of harm's way. The huntress would even bring the girls presents, toys she'd pilfered from other bodies, masks she'd fashioned out of things from the cottage, and little dolls made of grass and twigs. But these toys did nothing to quell the children's fear. Within days, the girls would waste away from starvation and dehydration. For all her good intentions, the huntress had never learned how to care for a human child. That actually fits in with her lore quite well. You see a tear creep down from underneath Huntress's mask. Suddenly, the most beautiful singing voice you've ever heard fills the air. Sleep, my darling tiny one, tucked within your bed so tight, else the old grey wolf will come and grab you by your side. There's a brief moment of silence, and you feel the need to contribute to the stirring moment. Those are my options. I feel like the bottom two would definitely get me killed. So I'm just gonna join in the singing. He'll snatch you up between his teeth if on the bed's edge you sleep, and drag you to the forest deep beneath the quaking tree. Huntress can't believe you know the song. You share an intimate glance across the campfire. So close your eyes and fall asleep. Count the little woolly sheep, tucked so tightly you must keep, or he will come for you. The song ends, and you are both met with silence around the campfire. I love that song. Bayou Bayushka, the old Soviet lullaby, right? Oh, I was reading on Huntress's voice when I was supposed to be my character. It is the song my mother used to sing to me before bed every night. But now I must go. The memories are so much. On that note, everyone decides it's time to take a break and split up for a little bit, so they so that they can all have a moment alone before bed. Everyone leaves, and you're alone by the fire. The only thing you hear is the ocean slowly lapping against the shore. This is nice. A true moment of peace and tranquility that lasts for all of 7 seconds because Trickster shows up and he's blaring his latest song. Hey baby, you look lonely. Mind if I join you? Oh god. He doesn't wait for an answer. Instead, he immediately puts his arm around you and gets real close up to your ear. I know you've been hearing from these guppies all day, but I want you to hear something from a big fish like me. Something special those in charge of this island don't want you to hear. I'm the ultimate catch on this island. The only lobster in an ocean of sardines. No one can give you what I can. You just have to find me. Come find me, baby. Trickster leaves. You're a bit confused and disturbed about what to make of his cryptic clues. Oh, but you aren't going to get any time to yourself to think about them just yet. Huntress approaches you. Oh, I thought it was going to make me choose who I wanted to have a moment with, but apparently it just immediately chose for me, which is fair in itself. Of course you liked my story. Who wouldn't? It had everything. Cute kids, dead men, a huntress, like mail order prostitutes. Maybe one of those things is out of place. I find that all stories are better with the sound of a burning fire filling the air before you. All the smoke, however, I could do without. I'd rather eat barbecue than smell like it. Let's rinse off all that campfire. Let it dip in the hot tub, shall we? Dipping in hot tubs with the Huntress. You come a long way in a single day. I'm not saying you shouldn't follow her. An offer like that. Just don't forget our little talk. So I guess this is the first true date scene. You and your storyteller friend slip into the water. It's just the right temperature for an evening dip. Plus, if some jealous shark comes along and manages to jump from the ocean into the pool, you're also pretty sure your killer companion could handle it. Before you run off, I wanted to make something clear. You know that half-woman, half-beast I was talking about in my story? That's me. I'm her. I can say no way, how cool. Which I feel has to be the right answer. But it's still kind of funny. I swear. No way, how cool. That's really awesome. Thanks for being vulnerable and telling me such a personal story. Huntress's bow shyly twirls her hair. Tell the truth. What did you think of my tale? Do I have the makings of a best-selling author, such as the comedic mastermind Dostoevsky? It was a really well-told narrative. Clear beginning, middle, and end. Riveted from the start. Plus the woman in the forest. I mean, you are clearly not a true villain. You are just a traumatized child. Okay, now you're just being a suck-up. And that's because it didn't even give me an option to be a suck-up or, like, do it a bit lighter. Huntress's eyes leer at you from behind her mask. She's had her time in the spotlight and is playing coy now. Chuckle awkwardly or call out her tired story tone. Oh god. You're just making it obvious how to get myself killed in this. So I'm gonna chuckle awkwardly. I swear. You chuckle awkwardly at Huntress's statement of the obvious. Why are you laughing? Do I look like a clown to you? Do I seem funny? I can't help but giggle when I'm both about to die and also maybe falling in love. With the lines I added, that just seems even funnier. You can't believe how awkward this intimidating woman seems right now. It's actually pretty endearing. You notice the temperature has dropped significantly, despite your steamy company. It's a little chilly, and your bare shoulders must be freezing. Let's head back to the fire and put me to bed, eh? We don't intrude on. Oh, sorry, I gave her Dwight's voice. We hate to intrude on whatever smooth moves you're about to unveil themselves. But it's time for bed. Usually the nighttime is when I do my best hunting. But after a day like today, even I'm pretty tuckered out. Will I see you tomorrow, player? Only if I don't see you first. You make a cute little bow hunting motion. Huntress catches the imaginary arrow you shoot at her teeth, and then bites down hard, snapping it in half. At least you think that's what she's doing. It's kinda hard to tell. I swear. And this path got so romantic, like insanely fast. Good night, my little snack. I'm sure that wasn't a reference to actually eating you. Yeah, sure. Totally, totally reassuring. Definitely not horrifying in its own right. I swear. You return to the campfire. The heat is comforting on this chilling night. Let's see. Looking into the crackling embers, you think about Hunch's story as the half-human beast that abducted all those innocent children in an attempt to save them that led to their doom. Are you a mistaken prisoner here on this island? Is this your salvation, or will it be your demise? Before you can dwell too much on your fate, Claudette and Dwight arrive. Their now familiar creepy smile stretching from ear to ear. It's a bit menacing to see a smile like that lit by fire. We must apologize for the accommodations. We were prepared for another guest, but we're going to make you comfortable or die trying. They hand over a pillow and blanket and welcome you to snuggle up by the fire. Perhaps some music will put you at ease. Just try to keep the volume to a minimum. Our other guests aren't the type you'll want to rob of their beauty sleep. Alright, so this is a mini game where it honestly doesn't really matter what I get on, because I don't think it contributes to anything. But, yeah. Let's see, perfect for the less coordinated because there is no winning or losing. So, like, I guess I can use this as an excuse to tell another story. So, like, the other day, I decided to watch a movie I hadn't seen in years, which was the horror film. I can't speak right now. Horror film. The horror film Mirrors with Keith Sutherland. And I'll be honest, I watched it as like a kid, and I didn't really remember much outside of the fact that he was playing a security guard and the jaw ripping scene, which still is one of the most brutal death scenes in a horror movie I've seen. I mean, I know it's all effects and makeup and stuff, but dang, it is legitimately one of the most brutal looking things. Oh, I hit 96 this time. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, this is the one from last time where they were thanking the community. But, yeah, freaking mirrors I hadn't seen in forever. And I remember as a little kid, I was actually. Well, I wasn't like a little kid, but I remember being creeped out by the freaking jaw ripping scene. Because that was honestly one of the most brutal things I had seen in a movie up until then. Hmm. So this is a bit more of a fast-paced rock type version of the Dead by Daylight theme that's playing, in case you can't hear it, because it's actually kind of low on my side as well. But yeah, that movie still has like a pretty original premise. Like, I wouldn't have minded if they kept it as just a supernatural horror film. I mean, it is still like a supernatural horror film because, well, I don't want to ruin it in case you want to see it. I mean, I know it's this old film, not like super old, because it was from like the 2000s, I believe. But still, uh, if you've seen it, you already know what happens. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna leave off on that. No matter how many things you listen to, you still can't sleep. You decide to ask one of the killers to spend a little more time with you until you're sleepier. Who would you like to summon to your side as you lay by the fire? You guys already know who I'm going to pick. Huntress, are you around? I was wondering if I could get a little company. Huntress appears in an instant. You really didn't hear her coming. She's more than happy to tell you her secret for falling asleep when she's feeling restless. Is that tea? It looks like there's a meatball in it. If a Soviet lullaby doesn't work, this special mushroom tea has always done the trick. When I'm not coating the blade of my hatchet in it, To ease the passing of my victims, I am steeping it in piping hot mug of water. Try it. Huh. So that's supposed to be a mushroom. It really does look like a meatball. I have to wonder if it's just a paralysis thing or if it actually has some sort of sleeping effect on it. I know there's some teas that basically make it easier to sleep, supposedly. But yeah, you do. You finally start to feel sleepy. Except maybe this isn't really a sleepy feel. Maybe you're paralyzed? I just asked about that. You try to keep your eyes open, but you can't. Darkness overtakes you. I swear. Uh, the dark voice from earlier speaks to you again. It shouldn't still be as spooky by now. You've had a whole day of strange voices in your head, but this one is still undeniably odd. Really worked up a sweat watching those killers toss the ball around, huh? Would it have hurt so much to go splash around in some cool ocean waves afterward? I'm just saying, I'm out here, you know. It's not like I wanted you to get around and splash around inside me, bucko. You wake suddenly to see someone looming over you. So is this gonna be the whole sequence where the wraith is just like staring intently at me? Oh, I actually got a different killer looking at me this time. A trapper sitting beside you, sketching a portrait. Is he is he drawing me like one of his French girls? Oh, you're awake. I saw you with the Huntress right before bedtime. You should know they're not what they seem. Not like me, who's obviously completely honest and trustworthy. Sure. I was checking. Oh, wait. I was out checking to make sure you weren't sleeping near one of my. Actually, never mind. Just be careful where you sit. Was he gonna say bodies? But since I'm here, I'd like to share two things with you. One, I do not take rejection well. Two, the first thing is very important to remember. So it's really only one thing. Were you drawing me? Trapper doesn't answer. You aren't drawing stink lines reading at me, are you? Still nothing from Trapper? I swear. Look, I'm not an easy guy to get along with, but I'm an easy guy to spend time with. That will make sense if you choose to spend time with me tomorrow. The rest of the scum live like rats. They wouldn't know a good time if I bit them on if I bit them on the ass. I think you're using that turn of phrase a little wrong. I mean that literally. Okay. Point is, if you select extravagance and fun, yes, I said fun. And if I don't pick you, brutally murdered by 5 p.m. Remember what I said earlier, or it might be the last thing you ever forgot. But hey, you look tired. Get some rest. Sleep. Maybe even sleep well if you can. Just try not to roll over to the about 15 feet to your left. Finally alone for real this time. Maybe you drift off to sleep. Hopefully you're not poisoned. I swear. I have to admit, have to find out. Wait a second. Where are we? This isn't. Oh jeez, it's one of those reality show confessional rooms where all the contestants talk directly to the camera. I think today went really well. These were some of my first interactions with someone who isn't a parent that didn't end in bloodshed or untimely perishing in my Russian cottage. I swear. So I'm counting today as a win no matter what happens. What do I think of the newcomer? I do have to say. Do I have to say? Oh, I do? Okay. Hmm. Attractive, mysterious. I really don't know that many other words since I was raised by my mom in the woods until she was skewered by an elk and I had to wash her entrails off my sarafan. That being said, the other three should make sure to be on their guard. I don't know who this newcomer will want to spend time with tomorrow, but I for one will not let my guard down easily. Who knows about the others? Wraith, I think, knows more than he's letting on about this place, but he's a hard nut to crack. Meanwhile, Spirit is just screaming all the time. Major buzzkill and Trapper. Ooh, where do I even begin with Trapper? His buff showing, but daddy issues much? Sheesh. Look, I don't need anyone. I've been perfectly fine on my own since my mother died. I eat a fine diet of raw deer, bear, and human, and I'm as fit as a fiddle. That being said, something about this newcomer makes me think that I might be missing out on some huge part of this thing called life. If I'm being honest, I want to kill just about every person I meet without meeting them. Even the few people I can tolerate, I want to see suffer for a long time before I kill them. But this person, for some reason, I would like them to continue living for now. One false step and, well, everyone calls me Trapper for a reason, and they better call me Trapper. So Trapper's reaction stays the same. Yeah, today was fun. I don't want to get ahead of myself or really invest in something that might hurt me. So I don't know. Maybe we'll just see how it goes. Or maybe they'll realize I'm not the one for them. They seem pretty smart, so that's probably what'll happen. I gotta learn to go easier on myself. Who could love me if I can't even love myself? I know that everyone thinks of me as a beautiful, cold-blooded monster. I can't help it. Circulation just isn't. I lagged real hard there. I had to make sure the recording hadn't paused or anything. If someone were to come around and capture my heart, at least that beats being stabbed in it. And besides, I'm gonna get bloody revenge on a society that has used me and thrown me away. Maybe it wouldn't hurt to have a little help. I feel that's a bit different from what she said last time. Because last time, I remember saying something about how she didn't really get a moment with me and she honestly didn't really care. Or something to that effect. uh, but I think I'm gonna call this episode here. And I'll definitely catch you guys on the next recording, whenever that may be. maybe I'll even try to do a live stream on one of these recordings, but I can't guarantee that because, honestly, my internet is awful. I have Spectrum, for those of you out there, so that should be a clear sign as to how bad my internet is. And oftentimes, when I do these recordings, my internet is off, like resetting for no apparent reason. So, yeah. But, I'll catch you guys next time. I'm gonna save and call it a day, basically. Bye.